The snowstorm had been building since dawn, thick white clouds rolling low over the frozen plain. Wind pushed ice across the ground like sharp sand, erasing every track within minutes. In this place, the world felt empty, silent, and endless. The human research team moved slowly across the ice in a heavy crawler vehicle. It was painted white to blend with the land, its engines humming softly to avoid disturbing the fragile ground beneath. Inside were 5 people, each trained for survival in the cold, each used to long days with little to see but snow and instruments. Commander Elias Ward sat in the front seat, watching the terrain through reinforced glass. He had spent 20 years in remote missions, but this place still made him uneasy. The cold here was different. It did not just freeze the skin, it felt like it was always watching. Behind him, Dr. Lena Morris studied the readings on her tablet. She was a xenobiologist, though until now her work had been theoretical. Humanity had searched the stars for decades and found nothing alive. Some people had started to believe humans were truly alone. "Another flat scan," Lena said quietly. "No movement, no life signs." "Good," Elias replied. "Let's finish this grid and head back before the storm worsens." They were here to study ice shifts and energy readings caused by underground pressure. It was boring work but important. Still, Elias felt restless. Something about today felt wrong. The crawler rolled forward, sensors sweeping the ground. Then suddenly a sharp tone echoed through the cabin. "What's that?" asked Jonah Reed, the engineer, leaning toward the console. Lena frowned and adjusted the display. "That's not possible." Elias glanced back. "Explain." "There's an energy signal under the ice," Lena said slowly. "Very faint but structured, not natural." "How deep?" Elias asked. "About 12 meters," she replied. "And it's warm." Silence filled the cabin. Warmth did not exist here. Anything exposed for minutes would freeze solid. Elias made a decision quickly. "Mark the location. We'll take a closer look." Protocol said they should report unusual findings immediately, but curiosity was part of every explorer, and this reading was too strange to ignore. They stopped the crawler and stepped out into the storm. The wind hit them hard, pushing against their suits. Snow stung their visors. Jonah activated a drilling unit, its metal teeth biting into the ice. Minutes passed. Then the drill struck something solid but not ice. "Commander," Jonah said, his voice tight, "there's a surface here, smooth." They cleared the surrounding ice carefully. What emerged made all of them freeze in place. A pod. It was oval, dark silver, covered in strange markings that faintly glowed beneath layers of frost. One side was cracked, leaking a soft blue light. "This isn't human," Lena whispered. Elias swallowed. "Open it carefully." Jonah hesitated. "Sir, this goes beyond our mission." "I know," Elias said, "but if there's something alive in there, we don't leave it to die." They worked together, removing ice and forcing the damaged section open. Cold air rushed inside the pod, and with it came a faint sound, barely audible, like a weak breath. Inside lay a small figure. She looked almost human, but not quite. Her skin shimmered pale blue, her hair like thin strands of silver frozen against her face. She was young, no older than a human child. Her chest rose and fell slowly. "She's alive," Lena said, her voice shaking. Readings flashed across Lena's tablet. "Her body temperature is dropping fast. Earth's atmosphere is harming her." Elias felt his heart pound. "Can we move her?" "If we don't, she won't survive," Lena said. Protocol screamed in Elias' mind. Alien life meant immediate quarantine, military control, secrecy. But this was not a discovery anymore. This was a life. They carefully lifted the girl, wrapping her in insulated layers. Her skin was icy to the touch. As they moved her to the crawler, her eyes fluttered open. For a brief second, she looked directly at Elias. Fear filled her gaze, then her eyes closed again. Back inside the crawler, alarms began to sound. "Her vitals are unstable," Lena said. "She's reacting badly to gravity and oxygen levels." Jonah worked fast, rerouting power. "I can try to create a sealed environment, but I don't know her biology." "Try," Elias said. "Do whatever you can." The crawler turned back toward the underground station, engines pushing through the storm. Snow slammed against the hull. Time felt heavy. Lena worked nonstop, adjusting temperature, pressure, and air composition. She guessed more than she knew, watching the girl's reactions closely. "She's adapting," Lena said after a tense moment. "Slowly." The station lights came into view at last, glowing beneath the ice. They brought the girl inside, sealing her in a modified chamber. As soon as they were secure, a communication alert appeared on Elias' console. Central Command was requesting status updates. Elias stared at the screen. If he reported now, everything would change. Military ships would arrive, scientists would take over, the girl would be studied, tested, locked away. She won't survive interrogation, Lena said quietly, reading his face. Elias closed his eyes for a moment. Delay the report, he said. We need time. Jonah looked shocked. Sir, that's treason. Elias met his gaze. So is letting a child die when we can help. No one argued. Hours passed. The storm raged above, but inside the station, the girl's condition slowly stabilized. Her breathing grew steadier. The strange glow in her skin softened. Then suddenly all the screens flickered. Commander, Jonah said, we're picking up long-range signals. Lena joined him. Multiple sources, deep space. Elias felt a chill that had nothing to do with the cold. Trajectory? He asked. Direct, Jonah replied, toward Earth. Lena's face went pale. They're not random, they're searching. Elias looked through the glass at the girl lying peacefully inside the chamber. Someone had frozen her. Someone had hidden her here, and now someone was coming. The station lights dimmed as power shifted. Outside, the storm began to calm, but the silence felt heavier than the wind ever had. Elias understood then that their discovery was not the beginning of a mission. It was the beginning of a choice, one that would test what humanity truly stood for. And there was no turning back. The underground station felt smaller after that night. Every sound echoed louder, every shadow seemed deeper. Above them, the frozen world remained quiet, but beyond the sky, something was moving closer. Commander Elias Ward stood in the control room watching the signal map. Small points of light blinked on the screen, far away but steady. They were not using known human routes. They were not hiding either. They know where she is, Elias said softly. Doctor. Lena Morris stood beside him, arms crossed, her eyes tired but sharp. Yes, and they are not afraid to be seen. In the medical chamber, the alien girl slept. Machines hummed around her, carefully keeping the air, temperature, and pressure balanced. She looked peaceful now, less fragile than before. Her skin still glowed faintly like moonlight on ice. Jonah Reed entered the room holding a tablet. I ran more tests, he said. Her body is adjusting faster than expected. She is strong. Lena nodded. She has to be. She survived being frozen for who knows how long. Elias looked at Jonah. Any word from Central Command? Jonah hesitated. They are asking again, harder this time. Elias exhaled slowly. We can't avoid them forever. Just then, a soft sound came from the medical chamber. Lena turned quickly. The girl's eyes opened. She looked around, confused, then afraid. Her hands moved weakly against the surface beneath her. It's okay, Lena said gently, stepping closer. You're safe. The girl's eyes met Lena's. They were deep silver, filled with questions. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Instead, the lights in the room flickered. Jonah stepped back. Did she do that? Lena held up a hand. Easy, she's communicating. Suddenly, images filled their minds, not words, but feelings and memories, cold darkness, fear. A bright place in the sky, loud sounds, running, then ice, silence. She was hiding, Elias said quietly. Someone was trying to protect her. The girl's gaze shifted to Elias. A new image formed, tall shapes, ships, fire in space, loss. She's important, Lena whispered. Very important. Outside the station, sensors began to alert again. They're close, Jonah said. Too close. A transmission came through, clear and calm. This is the envoy of the Lyrian Collective. You are in possession of royal property. Return her immediately. The voice was not threatening. That was worse. Elias stepped forward and activated the reply channel. She is alive because of us. She was dying. There was a pause. She was not meant to survive, the envoy replied. Her survival changes many things. That doesn't mean we give her up, Elias said. Another pause, longer. You are fragile, the envoy said. Your world is young. Do not choose destruction. Lena stepped beside Elias. You left her to die. We hid her to save her, the envoy replied. From enemies worse than you can imagine. Jonah looked between them. They're buying time. Elias knew it too. He ended the transmission. We need to decide, he said. Now. Lena looked at the girl who was watching them closely. If we give her up, she loses her future. If we keep her, we risk everything. Jonah swallowed. Earth can't fight them. Elias nodded. Then we don't fight. He turned to the console. Open a full broadcast channel to them and to Central Command. Jonah's eyes widened. All of it? Yes, Elias said. They will see everything. The screens lit up as data streamed out. Medical logs, video recordings, footage of the rescue. The moment the girl opened her eyes, the fear, the care, the effort, Elias spoke calmly. We found her frozen, alone. We had orders to report and wait. We chose to act not as soldiers, not as scientists, but as people. Central Command interrupted, voices shouting, demanding compliance. Elias ignored them. Lena stepped forward. We didn't know who she was, we still don't, but we know what she is, a child. The alien fleet remained silent. Minutes passed. The station felt like it was holding its breath. Then the girl stood. She stepped out of the chamber slowly, unsteady but determined. The machines adjusted around her. She walked toward Elias and placed a small hand on his arm. Images flowed again, not fear this time, gratitude, trust. She chooses us, Jonah whispered. The envoy's voice returned, softer now. You are unlike what we were told. Elias replied, we are not special, we just choose to help. Another long silence. Finally, the lights on the signal map began to fade. One by one, the alien ships changed course. The fleet is withdrawing, Jonah said, disbelief in his voice. Central Command fell silent. The envoy spoke one last time. The child will remain for now. Humanity has shown itself worthy of trust. Do not break it. The transmission ended. The room was quiet. Lena sank into a chair, tears in her eyes. We did it. Elias looked at the girl, who was smiling now, a small, gentle smile. What happens now? Jonah asked. Elias smiled faintly. Now we protect her and we learn. Days passed, then weeks. The storm above cleared, supplies arrived. Central Command's anger softened into careful interest. New rules were written. New talks began. The girl learned quickly. She watched, listened, and shared small pieces of her world. Her name did not translate, but they called her Snowlight for how she glowed against the ice. She laughed for the first time one quiet evening, a soft sound that filled the station with warmth. Elias watched her through the glass, feeling something he had not felt in years. Hope. Humanity was no longer alone, and for the first time the universe had seen what humans would risk, not for power, not for conquest, but for one small life in the snow. That choice would echo far beyond the frozen plains of Earth, carried among the stars as a simple truth. Humans protect what they love.